So in this video, I'm setting up my pump. Having really bad acid this morning. So setting up my pump bag. This is Infinity 500 mils. Normally I feed into my jejunum, which is the small intestines. But because I'm just doing medicine, it's just going to go into my stomach, so into the G-tube. So I start by opening the bag. I reuse the bags as long as possible. I prefer the bigger bags, but I don't have very many, if any, left. So this morning I'm just using a smaller bag because it's literally just for medicine. So this is my medicine. Cover up my information there. So it's Sulcrate. It's only supposed to be 5 milliliters every 6 hours, but I tend to put more than that in the bag because the bag will run for like 12 hours. So also 5 milliliters does not a damn thing for me. So fill it up about that much, so about 50 milliliters. I realize that's 10 times the dosage, but again, any less than that really doesn't do anything for me. Sorry, I'm just trying to put my medicine away. Normally I mix it with Pedialyte. Today I'm going to mix it with some formula. So this is the formula I'm currently using. A friend of mine from the States gave me a bunch because she gets so much of it and doesn't use as much to try, because I'm very hard. It's been very hard for me to find a formula that agrees with me. There is one called Neocate Splash, but I have to use a lot more of it to get the proper intake in the day, and therefore I'm hooked up longer, so I prefer this one. Yeah, but it's not actually available in Canada, so, and I just pour the whole thing in. Like so. And then if I wanted to, I could add Pedialyte or water to it, but I'm not going to right now. I will add water to it when it's all done. And then what I try to do is get as much of the air out as possible without squeezing the formula out. Try to get as much air as possible out. Do it up. And I give it a good shake to try and mix it all together. Obviously the medicine's a lot thicker than the formula. I try to prime it manually, although I'm not very good at it, as you can see. Like I'm squeezing. Yeah, squeeze right here. Right here. Teardrop. But nothing's coming out. Oh, there we go. I try to do this manually because it helps to get as much air out of the bag as possible. But that's about as far as I can usually get it to go manually. I don't want to squeeze the bag too hard because I don't want to bust the bag. It is just thin plastic, well, kind of thick plastic, but it's just plastic, so it's very easy to break here or break the seal or here. Anyways, that's about as much as I can get primed manually. I'll try to get a little more air out of this thing. It doesn't have to have all the air out because of the fact I do feed via a pump. But it just makes life easier because then I don't have to have the pump hanging if I need to lay it down or anything like that. Speaking of pump, so this is my pump. It is the Infinity pump. This is a flying squirrel device. It hooks on so I don't have to use an IV pole. So it allows me to be a lot more mobile around the house and whatnot. And just the bag just sits in like that. take this and try to show you guys this. It just hooks around the wheel here. This is difficult to do one-handed. And then I did it upside down. See, this is why I can't do it one-handed. Okay, hang on. Make sure the line is not twisted either. Okay, so around the wheel. Like so, drops into the cartridge like so. Right. And I just close the lid. I power it on. Hit right button. Doing this upside down backwards. And I hit prime. And it'll prime it. See it coming through there. Get the line ready. So if I was to hook it into my J-tube, then I would leave this tip on because I have what they call a legacy tube, and this plugs into my tube. Try to lower my camera so I can show you. So if I was putting it into my J-tube, it would hook into here, bloop, like that, plugged into that little white bit there. But because it's actually going to go into my stomach, because it's my stomach meds that I'm going to be using, I'll be taking the white tip off once I get it primed. So just continue to prime it here. And we want to prime it right to the end so that there's no air. Air will make the stomach even worse. Slowly coming. Some of the newer pumps have auto prime, which basically you hit the button and it does all this without you having to hold the button. Unfortunately, I have an older pump, so it doesn't have that lovely option. So sometimes my thumb lets go by accident, and I have to start it over. I usually prime it till I can't see it. So like there. And then I just have a command hook beside my chair that I'm sitting in. You can't really see because it's down below. That this sits on, hooks onto. I have a command hook in my bedroom and as well as in the bathroom. Pretty much anywhere I need to be in the house, there's a command hook. In the kitchen, I just kind of hook it on the stove, and the stove's in the perfect position in my kitchen that I can get around to do dishes or whatever. Now, to hook it into my tube, I simply fold the tube like this. The reason is my tube does not have a clamp because there's a balloon that makes sure that the tube stays in place. And I kind of just gotta push it into the tubing like that, as again, legacy. So there's legacy and there's NFIT. NFIT would mean this would twist on. Hoping that's what I get this time around when I go for a tube change next month or this coming month. And then I just hit run and it runs. And then I hook it onto my little hook down here. But yeah, hoping I get an NFIT tube this month, so then it'll be nice, it'll twist in and no chance of it disconnecting. So that's that. That's basically how that works for when I'm running my meds. Again, like I've been running with Pedialyte, but I'm thinking the Pedialyte's not helping with my acid. So trying it with formula. Stomach's been digesting okay the last little bit. So it's not too bad to put the formula into my stomach. They want me to continue to try to eat orally and continue to try and feed into my stomach. Obviously, if I have vomiting spells, then I need to go to the J-tube. But otherwise, that's that. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the comments. Bye.